contemplation, and attraction. The excuses you tend to rely on probably include some ideas that you've contemplated throughout your life to date. Yes, even thinking it will be difficult, or I can't afford it, or I don't deserve it, is engaging in what Aristotle called the highest form of activity. The more you ponder the impossibility of having your desires show up, complain about life's unfairness, and get upset about what continues to manifest, the more those very things define your reality. That's because whatever you focus on invariably shows up in your life, be it what you want or what you don't want. So if you're always thinking or talking about what's wrong with your life, then you're attracting exactly what you don't desire. Choosing an excuses-be-gone approach means that you absolutely refuse to participate in the self-defeating rhythm that I just touched on. You learn to move into a new realm where your thoughts are viewed as potential realities, and it's your sacred duty to contemplate only that which originates from your authentic self. This is something you can begin to work on right away. I learned a long time ago from one of my mentors, Abraham Maslow, that self-actualizing people never use their minds to think about what they don't wish to attract. They don't worry about an illness getting worse, an absence of funding, or a downturn in the economy affecting them, a negative outcome in a business venture, their children getting into trouble, and so on. Their minds focus on the conditions they wish to produce. Then the lucky break, the right people or circumstances, or the synchronistic opportunity somehow presents itself as a result of their contemplation. We all become what we think about. Serve, rather than what's in it for me. And finally, 10, remember Troward's famous observation: the law of flotation was not discovered by contemplating the sinking of things. In other words, when you see what you contemplate as if it's already here, the universe will ultimately offer you experiences that match what you're contemplating. Process. Once you place a thought into your imagination about who you want to become, I encourage you to live from that end as if it had already materialized into the physical realm. And this is precisely what I've been doing with the teachings of both St. Francis and Lao Tzu for many years now. In those fleeting moments while I was on stage, imagine it. Live as if it were your reality. Allow no detractors. But most important, assume the feeling of it, and you will merge with it, and it will merge with you, so that it is no longer a duality. It is you becoming one with what you desire.
Destroying itself in the process. And you begin to understand that what you think about, how you use your thoughts, determines everything about you. If you have a sniffle, and it's Monday morning, like my brother will call me Monday morning, he'll say, "Wayne, I got a sniffle." I said, "Long distance?" Yeah, he said, "It's in my nose," but he said, "Tomorrow, it'll be in my throat. On Wednesday, it'll be in my chest." So I'm going to have a fever on Thursday. It happens every time. I'm going to have to take Friday off. It's still Monday morning. He's taking Friday off with a fever, and it's still Monday morning. I say to him, "Hold it right there, brother of mine. Try to visualize. Try to imagine."
To change the habits that plague us. As I read The Biology of Belief, the phrase "perception controls genes" kept attracting me. It triggered something in me that I hadn't considered before, the idea that the way I think about and perceive my world can overcome my DNA and my genetic inheritance. This means that I can rewire my internal circuitry and process physical or health problems from an entirely new perspective. The results were clear to Mosley. Quote, "My skill as a surgeon had no benefit on these patients. The entire benefit of surgery for osteoarthritis of the knee was the placebo effect." Television news programs graphically illustrated the stunning results. Footage showed members of the placebo group walking and playing basketball, in short, doing things they reported they could not do before their, quote, "surgery," unquote. The placebo patients didn't find out for 2 years that they'd gotten fake surgery. One member of the placebo group, Tim Perez, who had to walk with a cane before the surgery, is now able to play basketball with his grandchildren. He summed up the theme of this book when he told the Discovery Health Channel, "In this world, anything is possible when you put your mind to it. I know that your mind can work miracles." And all of this is from The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Assertion of Jesus that, quote, "with God, all things are possible," unquote. So if all things are possible with God, and God is within you in the form of your passionate enthusiasm, why would you ever need to employ an excuse of any kind? When you're enthusiastic, nothing seems difficult. When you have passion, there are no risks. Family. Yet I still read and contemplate them every day. Quote, "By believing passionately in something that does not yet exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired." Unquote. The something that does not yet exist for you has very likely been explained away repeatedly with any number of excuses, and what's not sufficiently desired is once observed, quote, "If your willingness to give blessings is limited, so also is your ability to receive them. This is the subtle operation of the Tao." Part 3. The Excuses Begone Paradigm Shift. Quote, "If you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place." Unquote. Important decisions you'll ever make is choosing the kind of universe you exist in. Is it helpful and supportive, or hostile and unsupportive? Your answer to this question will make all the difference in terms of how you live your life and what kind of divine assistance you attract. Remember that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. So if you believe that this is an unfriendly universe, you'll look for examples to support this point of view. You'll anticipate people attempting to cheat, and judge, and take advantage of, and otherwise harm you. You'll blame the antagonistic, inhospitable cosmos for not cooperating with you in the fulfillment of your desires. You'll point the finger at belligerent people and bad luck for the kind of world we all live in. Since this worldview trickles down into every thought you have, you become a person persistently looking for occasions to be offended, and therefore in possession of a whole slew of excuses. I implore you to see the universe as a warm and supportive one before you begin to apply the excuses begone paradigm. Because you'll look for evidence to support this view, when you anticipate that the universe is friendly, you see friendly people. You look for circumstances to work in your favor. You anticipate good fortune flowing into your life. In other words, you aren't looking for excuses. My favorite affirmation when I feel stuck or out of sorts is, "Whatever I need is already here, and it is all for my highest good." Jot this down and post it conspicuously throughout your home, where you experiment with thinking and acting like you imagine God does, and suspend your intellect. The law of attraction proclaims that like is attracted to like. So when you think like the universal mind thinks, it will join you. When you think in ways that are antithetical to this divine mind, you'll attract more of what you're thinking about. That means that if your thoughts are all focused on what's wrong, or what's missing, or what you can't do, or what you've never done before, that is, on excuses, you'll access more of what you're thinking about. Use the law of attraction to say goodbye to excuses. When you do, the universe will recognize you, and help and guidance will show up in a synchronistic way. As you align with your authentic, original self, rather than your ego, you'll start to feel as though you're collaborating with destiny. Aligning with Source in your thoughts and actions. If you attempt to figure out how your source of being thinks, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the ego. When you observe how creation takes place, you see that source energy is all about giving, while your ego is all about getting. So aligning with source energy means taking the focus off of what's in it for me and shifting to how may I serve. When you say gimme, gimme, gimme to the universe, it uses the law of attraction to say gimme, gimme, gimme right back to you. You subsequently feel pressured, put upon, and out of sorts because so many demands are being made of you. It's out of this vortex that you create excuses that only serve to keep you stuck and striving to meet the ego's demands. I'm not strong enough, I don't deserve it, I don't have the energy, I'm scared, it's too big, and on and on. All of this stems from identifying with the false self that edged God out of your deliberations. Shift to a new alignment now, one that one that puts you in rapport with the creative universal mind. You can begin by thinking like God and follow up acting like God. Take the focus off of gimme, 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 and place it on how may I serve? What may I offer? How can I help? When you do, the universe will respond similarly, asking, how may I serve you? What may I offer you? How can I help you? This is when the ego's old habits fall away and are replaced by unexpected, meaningful events, with the right people and circumstances and funding appearing. The only way to gain the attention of the immortals who teach the methods of energy enhancement and integration that are necessary to reach the divine realm. These angelic teachers cannot be sought out. It is they who seek out the student." Unquote. The way to get to the point where you've abolished old habits and excuses is to petition the divine realm and restore the angelic qualities of your being. Restoring is crucial, for when you begin to think like God thinks, you actually are returning to your source of being without having to die. I can't emphasize enough here that you don't attract what you desire. You attract what you are. If I can't afford it from your life because using it keeps you aligned with lacks, shortages, and pain. Loving what you have and being in a continual state of contentment is the key to having what you want. Also, being willing to contemplate that whatever assistance you need is on its way, even when you can't predict where it's coming from. This helps you live in alignment with the laws of the universe. Since this is a universe of unlimited abundance, why have thoughts contrary to that truth? I've always said that what I need financially is not only on its way, but will arrive on time and is always for my highest good. In fact, it already exists. All I have to do is connect myself to it. Call me crazy if you will, but this kind of thinking has served me unfailingly. Accessing universal cooperators and consequently access universal cooperation. Excuse number 1, it will be difficult. Accessing universal cooperation. Excuse number 1 becomes, with God, all things are possible. Excuse number 2, it's going to be risky, becomes, I cannot fail when I trust in the wisdom that created me. Excuse number 3, it will take a long time, becomes, there is only now. I live fully in the present. Excuse number 4, there will be family drama, becomes, my inner callings are the voice of God. I must follow what I feel so deeply. Excuse number 5, I don't deserve it, becomes, everyone deserves the grace of the Tao. Excuse number 6, it's not my nature, becomes, my nature is to have reverence for all of life, to be sincere, gentle, and supportive to all. Excuse number 7, I can't afford it, becomes, if I stay in God realization, all that I need will be provided. Excuse number 8, no one will help me, becomes, how may I serve others so that they may have what I desire? Excuse number 9, it has never happened before, becomes, I am content with all that has shown up in my life. Excuse number 10, I'm not strong enough, becomes, I know that I'm never alone. I will reach out to others who are not as strong as I am. Excuse number 11, I'm not smart enough, becomes, I trust in the divine, omniscient intelligence to which I am always connected. Excuse number 12, I'm too old or not old enough, becomes, in an infinite universe, age is an illusion. There is only now. Excuse number 13, the rules won't let me, becomes, I live by the 4 cardinal virtues. Excuse number 14, it's too big, becomes, if I can conceive of it, passion and the abilities to create it will be given. Excuse number 15, I don't have the energy, becomes, there is an energy in the universe greater than me, and that energy is always available. Excuse number 16, it's my personal family history, becomes, everything that has ever happened to me was perfect, and I can learn and grow from it. Excuse number 17, I'm too busy, becomes, with infinite patience, I produce immediate results. And excuse number 18, I'm too scared, becomes, there is nothing to fear. I am an infinite expression of God, the Tao.